Get ready to flow. Let's dive deep with PiSeas Tarot.
Your business is my business. I see every ache, every kiss, the push, the pull, the silent cries. I'm exposing all the lies, revealing the hidden truth. With me, you have the proof. Your business is my business. True. Welcome to PiSeas Tarot. True.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to PiSeas Tarot. I am your host. I am Mimi Lightseer, and over here we are exploring the energy of Kandi Burruss with this celebrity card reading. This is a commentary-based tarot card reading that is focused on energy patterns and pressures. I am not asserting any truth about any individual's life. We are simply examining symbolic themes, emotional dynamics, and public-facing energy as it pertains to visibility, power, and influence. Everything here is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. I am not confirming any personal facts, gossip, or unverifiable claims. Take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Now, with that intention set, let's begin, y'all. So, as I was saying before I was rudely artificially interrupted, we are talking about Kandi Burruss. Kandi was born on May 17th, 1976 in College Park, Georgia. Okay. Kandi is a Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter, producer, and entrepreneur who's rose to prominence and fame in the 1990s as a member of the multi-platinum R&B group Escape. As a songwriter, she has helped shape the sound of modern R&B and pop, penning major hits such as TLC's No Scrubs, earning industry acclaim for her lyrical influence and business acumen. Beyond music, she expanded her brand into television and a longtime cast member of The Real Housewives of ATL, where she became known for her transparency, strategic mindset, and entrepreneurial drive. With ventures spanning across Broadway productions, restaurants, beauties, and lifestyle brands, Kandi represents a rare blend of creative talent and executive leadership. In short, she is a Southern cultural powerhouse and a case study on ownership, longevity, and wealth building in modern entertainment industry. With that in mind, Kandi is a Taurus sun, Leo moon, and a Cancer rising. This combination blends grounded persistence through the Taurus sun, the expressive heart energy, and a nurturing, intuitive outer presence. Immediately, what stands out to me with Kandi's energy is that she is a grounded creative builder whose personal expression and emotional presence are substantial and inviting. Her success is not impulsive, nor is it fleeting, okay? It is cultivated, steady, and rooted in a tangible value. Now, the Taurus in her makes her resilient, patient, and resourceful, a natural entrepreneur with endurance, okay? The Leo in her ignites her emotional womb with the world of expression and confidence and the desire to be seen and appreciated. And the Cancer rising shapes her outward vibe, that is the warmth, protective, relationally attuned, and intuitive about emotional currents within her. So together, this is a perfect blend of practicality with heart and visibility with a relational warmth, okay? This, to me, is amazing because one thing I will say, and we're going to put respect on Kandi's name. You know, I'll tell y'all up front if I really like somebody, if I don't. I love Kandi. Love her. What you're not going to do is come up in our community and disrespect Kandi, okay? Period. Now, both of her restaurants, before they closed, were within biking distance of my home. And one thing I could say about her is if you see her, she's very down to earth. She's very personable. You know, she'll walk up to you and speak and greet you. Like, she is very cool, calm, and collected, and not the traditional air of a celebrity of her statue that you would assume, okay? This is someone who builds legacy through consistency, authenticity, emotional resilience. Her strength is staying power. Her voice is relational and heartfelt. Her presence is approachable yet influential. The result is her leadership that feels personal and trustworthy. It is not forced or artificial. She shows up as somebody who people want to root for, not just follow. Okay. Now, Kandi thrives best when her values are aligned with her business choices. Her emotional expression supports her relationships, not just her reactions. And she is grounded in nature to stabilize her growth. The pros in her chart is that she is durable with success. She is warm. You know, her connection is genuine. Her emotional intelligence is clear within her negotiations. And she is better poised for long-term brand longevity. Okay. The challenges, though, in her chart is that she is very resistant and stubborn to change at times. She has a tendency to protect rather than to innovate. And an emotional investment can also complicate business decisions. So the bigger question for her as we look at her comprehensively as she evolves as a woman would be, how can she hold space, both emotional depth and strategic expansion? Okay. So before my son false alarmed me and told me to come pick him up from school, we started shifting over here to the energy surrounding her. And the first card that we pulled was the Roots of Abundance card, which is very, very interesting. I know if y'all didn't see the first blooper, you would think that I arbitrarily picked that out, and I did not. When I shuffled for her, that came out for her. Kandi plants roots that are vibrant, okay? Kandi could stop doing whatever she gonna stop doing today. Trust me, she gonna be good. Okay, she's going to be good. She doesn't have to do anything else with music. She doesn't have to, I mean, like, Kandi is going to be good. Okay, she's always going to be good. It is the passion, it's the excitement, it is the enthusiasm, it's the creative need within her that has to be expressive. So that's why Kandi will continue to work for years to come, but she's going to be good no matter what. Okay, so now shifting over to the truth that Kandi may be reckoning with at this time. Spirit, what is some truth that Kandi may be reckoning with at this time? Okay. Kandi may be excessively worrying right now. Okay. And I can see this. One of the shadows about Taurus is that they overthink. They can get all caught up in their mind, okay? And given what's going on between she and Todd right now, she very much so, even though she's playing cool, calm, and collected most days on the internet, Kandi could definitely be worrying, being compulsive, and over-analyzing, overthinking a lot of things right now. But worry came out for her, okay? The worry card did come out. So she's dealing with worry right now. And she is learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. So yeah, this is very timely for her, okay? And what she's going through with her husband, or soon to be ex-husband, Todd. All right, so as we shift, Spirit, what is the true crime surrounding Kandi Burruss? I almost wanted to pick a different set of cards because I don't really know Kandi to be full of any scandal of any sort that doesn't mean anything, but I almost considered looking at different cards for her. Okay, the first card that we have is regret. Okay, so that goes hand in hand with that worry. Okay, what else, Spirit? What is the true crime concerning Kandi Burruss? Okay, water is here, so she could be very emotional right now. She could also feel very overwhelmed with what's going on around her right now. That could also be the emotion that is coming from her Cancer rising. And lastly, intuition is here, which is what we talked about in the preliminary reading of who she is. Okay, so water and intuition does go hand in hand. As we look at the path of shadows surrounding Kandi Burruss, what is a path of shadows that is surrounding Kandi Burruss at this time? Kandi Burruss, okay. Vampire. In the night's embrace, where the desires ignite, my hunger keeps consuming all in sight. So she can be overindulging right now in work or in other positive things that keeps her focused in the right place. Over consuming things to distract her from the pain and from the hurt that she's possibly feeling right now, going through this divorce with Todd, the divorce that nobody really saw coming. Okay. Spirit, what are some shadows that Kandi needs to overcome right now? Shadows. Not talking to you, Siri. Okay. Avoidance. Face what you fear. For avoidance is but a temporary refuge. This is about invasion, neglect, and denial. Okay, so she's overcoming avoidance. Perhaps she tried to prevent this from happening or tried to avoid it until something just stood out to her that she could no longer ignore. What else, Spirit? Fear. Face your darkest. It's only the way that you find the right guiding light. This is about anxiety, apprehension, and phobia, which is what I talked about earlier when we were talking about this fear card, okay? So she definitely has some things going on with her. Now, Spirit, give me clear and precise messages for Kandi Burruss. Y'all see I got my big A cards, right? All right, so let's go. Spirit, I need 5 messages to illustrate the present energy of Kandi Burruss. 5 cards to illustrate the current energy of Miss Kandi Burruss. Let me tell y'all something. I don't care what nobody say. Kandi be in her bag, okay? Kandi is nobody's dummy. Kandi came up, learned, moved on. And even if we think about it, like Tiny is doing very well for, like, all the girls from Escape are generally doing well for themselves. Even the other Tamika, you know, she was doing like plays and things like that. So they're doing very well. But Kandi by far has withstood the test of time in terms of her career, her business endeavors, and the projects that she works on. Okay. So, all right, Spirit. 5 messages for Kandi Burruss. Okay, that's 1. 2. 3. What? 4. And 5. I'm gonna take that one and not that one. Okay. Now, at the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups in reverse. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Privately right now, Kandi may be very, very moody. She may be very bitchy, hot and cold, touch and go with this divorce right now with this King of Cups energy. You know, going through the divorce is very, very hard for anybody. It's exceptionally hard for Kandi right now because so much of her life has been intertwined, right? This is where you see a partner, a full-fledged life partner. And in that, you start to bleed those boundaries of partnership with money and honey, okay? And I know that most people say, don't mix your money with your honey. But when you have someone who is in the same light, in the same space, in the same professional realm, you start to build the capacity that you two can come together and collaborate and achieve a desired outcome, right? So when you have to start splitting up things and you have to start separating things that were once together, that can make anybody emotional, right? A divorce for a normal person is emotional. It is heartbreaking. It is sad. You have to grieve. It feels like someone died when they're still alive. You hate the person. You love the person. It's just a whirlwind of emotions, right? So I'm not surprised that behind closed doors, she may be overly emotional and struggling with processing her emotions, especially with that Cancer rising being there, okay? So to start, we have the Queen of Swords. Not surprised by this at all. Kandi is sitting around observing, listening, and paying attention. She is never a woman that does not have a strategy or a plan in mind. So right now, she is evaluating, she is assessing, she is noting, she is doing her due diligence, okay? Again, Kandi is one who thinks first and executes precisely, okay? And that's exactly what is happening here. We also have the 6 of Cups. So this may be where that regret is coming back. She may be looking at things going back and replaying things in her mind that may have stood out to her, things that she may have put a pin in that she did not want to address at that time, which also could be where the avoidance comes from. Kandi doesn't strike me as a person who's afraid of confrontation. However, to probably keep the peace, she likely did not address everything head on in real time as she should have. So, you know, when you're married to somebody or even just in a relationship that you wanted to thrive and to be collaborative, you want to sometimes pick your battles, right? So there may be something that is now coming back to her attention, to the forefront of her mind, that she sensed earlier and tried to keep the peace. And now she's looking back with that with some sort of regret. We also have the Seven of Swords here in reverse. And this is pretty interesting, right? Now I'm over here looking at these pictures and I'm looking at all the beautiful faces and variations of Kandi. And you guys can definitely look that up online for yourself at Kandi Burruss on Google and look at images, okay? But with the Seven of Wands being here, this strikes me as someone who is easily feeling overwhelmed. She may feel a little bit defeated. She may want to take a break back. But as you all have seen in recent days, instead of Kandi just doing what she does and go home, Kandi is still over here like, let me throw myself into work. Let me busy myself. Let me go talk to all the podcasts. Let me go do this in New York and go do this. Like, she is trying to consistently and continuously drown out her pain and her sorrows because she is overwhelmed and she really needs to reset and just, you know, confront exactly what it is that she's feeling. But when you are a public figure like that, and you're going through these very personal, raw, and vulnerable moments, like, when do you have time to sit down, especially when you're on Broadway, right? When do you have time to pause and to grieve? Like, life is pressing on because you have a calendar and an agenda that is so full, that is so robust. Like, what else are you supposed to be doing with your time right now, right? You're already committed. We also have the Five of Wands here in reverse. I'm so sorry, y'all. These people, everybody want to bother me today. Like, what y'all want me today? Okay. So anyway, with the Five of Wands here, this is also speaking to the immense level of conflict and obstacles that she is going through right now. When I tell you there is a power struggle in this divorce, and even she said it on a podcast that Tamsin's podcast. You know, she was saying, yeah, they're trying to still put on a united front, and that may be confusing to people because it's not necessarily about them as people as much as it is about their children, and still not letting their children feel the impacts of what has happened between she and Todd. But she also said that there are times where it is very peaceful, and then there are times where it's just outright nasty because of the fact that, you know, they have to talk about how they're going to split and separate things. So this could be where the power struggles is starting to come in. And again, the things that are starting to really present those obstacles and that opposition that no one really wants to feel at a time like this. Okay. And lastly, y'all, oh man, listen, I don't like this at all. Y'all, we have the Three of Swords. Kandi's heart is broken. Okay, Kandi's heart is absolutely undeniably broken. I know that she said that there was, and this also represents divorce as well. I know that she said that there was something specific that happened. She mentioned this on Watch What Happens Live. She said there was a specific instance that caused her to have a break, to come to this conclusion of filing for divorce. It was so specific. There was nothing that can be done to reconcile or to correct this thing. Like, this was it. Whenever I see the Three of Swords, I always see a third party situation here. I'm not implying that because we don't know that for sure. I'm just telling you what I see whenever I see the Three of Swords. I always see a third party situation. But in general, it does represent heartbreak and it does represent divorce. Okay, so that's the obvious of what we're talking about here. All right, y'all. So as we start to look at the public image and the private energy, I don't know why I'm drinking all this stuff, knowing that I gotta go to the bathroom in a few. But y'all know me. Gotta drink something. All right, so let's get into this, y'all. And again, I have my little questions wrote down over here. And if my spirit or energy should move me in a different way to deviate from what is here, I will. All right, so when we look at the public image versus the private energy, what part of Kandi's inner world has been shaped by the public perception? What part of Kandi's inner world has been shaped by public perception? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I love Kandi so much. I hate what she's going through right now. I hate this for her. I was so happy when she found love and was able to get married. You know, y'all may forgot, but Kandi, you know, has been proposed to. Kandi, to me, this is why I resonate with Kandi so much. Kandi represents every Black woman who is smart, ambitious, and strong and loving and has so many things to offer. And what we have seen over the 14, I think she said it was 14 or 16 years that she was on Housewives, I can't remember. We saw the evolution of her meeting AJ, then losing AJ to gun violence. We saw her talking about the disconnect between she and her daughter's father. We saw her meet Todd. We saw her fall in love with Todd. We saw her marry Todd. We saw her have babies with Todd. Now we're seeing her divorce. I am so glad that she's not on Housewives this year, because I don't want that to be a part of her legacy. Okay, I just had to say that. When y'all wonder why I root for Kandi, baby, this is why. Because when I look at her, I look at me. Okay, I see me. I see someone who looks just like me. Now that could be projecting, but I'm just being honest. Y'all know how I do. I tell the truth. All right. So what is the part of Kandi's inner world that is being shaped by public perception? All right. So before we get started, I'm going to move these down so I can have a little bit more space, give you some more eyeball room. All right, so to start, we have the 8 of Swords in reverse with the 8 of Cups and the King of Cups here. Oh, Kandi. Okay, what part of her inner world has been shaped by public perception? Well, for one, Kandi is starting to free herself and come out of this mental agony where she has tried to possibly avoid, as we talked about, possibly try to avoid, possibly try to have ignored, possibly try to talk herself out of, giving her power away from something that may have been going on. My assumption is we're talking about the marriage, because that's easily what came up here. Okay. With the divorce, this also goes back to that regret. But what I'm seeing is Kandi freeing herself from the things that she turned a blind eye to. Okay. And this is where she's making the decision to walk away. This was something that was not easy. As you can see, they're on a beach. This was an emotional decision. Y'all see that water over here, right? This was a highly emotional situation that did not feel good. It was not an easy decision. Although we talk about it in just that, oh yeah, this happened and this happened. But whatever it was so impactful that she just could not deal with it any longer. There may have been other things that may have happened in the marriage that have facilitated and led to that strike being the strike that's being the camel's back. But this is also about her being the leader that she is and being in control and aware of her thoughts and her feelings and emotions about the situation at the time. So this has nothing to do with anybody else. This is all how she's feeling on the inside. Now, is the public perception affecting her in any way? How is the public's perception of her at this time affecting her? Well, for one, she's ready for this to be over with that 9 of Swords in reverse. She's ready to move on with her life. She also has this 5 of Pentacles here, which is like leaving somebody out in the cold. Okay. This is really weighing on her, y'all. This is really, really weighing on her. She is very sad about this. Like she, as I said in the opening, she did not see this coming. She did not see this coming at all. And I go back to her being cold and bitchy, okay? Like whatever this is, let me back up. How is this affecting her? The public perception affecting her. She's ready to move on from this. Like she just wants this to be over. This is really grieving her, that it makes her feel like she's leaving Todd out there in the cold. She is definitely grieving the loss of this relationship. This is a best friend that she has had for quite some time. I believe I don't know how, let me look it up. How long were they married? How long was Kandi and Todd? They have been married about 15 years. Okay, about 15 years. They've been together for 15, but they have been married for 11. Okay, so when we talk about this, of course, 11 years of a life partner, 11 years of a business partner, 11 years of a confidant. Like when you have not had that, and you, of course, this will break your heart. This will break anybody's damn heart. Okay, so again, we're going back to the fact with this Queen of Swords that she could be very cold-hearted at times, very nonchalant, very bitter, very dry when it comes to him. Okay, not giving him no love. Even though she may be tolerating him, when it comes down to the separation of assets, oh, no bueno. And we knew that coming into the marriage with the prenup as what we saw on the show. But what I will say is there are people celebrating. Okay, there are people celebrating. And it's the people that is around her most. I'm not surprised by this. This could be her mama. This could be her aunties. These are the women in her life or the friends around her. So I read this 2 ways. A, she has the support system around her to help her get through. But I also see her mom and her aunts around her celebrating her decision to separate. Remember, they never, especially at Joyce, and I see Joyce at the nail shop, okay? Joyce ain't never want that girl to be with her, okay? Joyce ain't never been on board. So, of course, this with the public perception of her is weighing heavily on her. She is not showing this externally. He's catching all the smoke behind the scenes, okay? And even kind of like how she's answered, Andy Cohen on Watch What Happens Live. She's like, I'm not about to talk about that here. Like she was cool. And then he asked that question and she kind of like went from 0 to 15. She was like, I'm not about to, I mean, she kept it classy, but she was like, I'm not about to be talking about that. You know, so she kept it cool though, but you could just see how she flipped, right? So how does her relational attentive presence show up online? So how is she present in her relationships offline? How does Kandi show up in her relationships offline? Okay. Okay. All right. So the first card we have right now, she doesn't have much to give anybody. Okay. Right now, she really needs to take a step back and take care of herself with this Ace of Cups in reverse, as well as this 4 of Swords. This is a time for her to love herself. This is a time for her to show up for herself and to take care of herself. And I'm not saying for no reason at all that she does not do these things, because she absolutely does. But what I'm saying is at this point in her life, going through this divorce, it is exceptionally necessary that she takes time back to cater to herself and love herself and accept the fact that this is where she is today's years old as a 50-year-old woman. Okay, that's where this is coming into play. Okay, so what the question was, how does her relational attentive presence show off offline? Right now, she don't need to show up offline. She needs to show up for her. Okay, she needs to show up for her. Now, what parts of her identity does she keep private? even as she shares so much publicly. What parts of her should she keep private? I tell y'all, I wish I could show y'all this picture I'm looking at of Kandi. I really got to figure it out because this picture of Kandi is so pretty. If y'all look at her IMDb, like that is such a gorgeous, simple, but gorgeous picture of her. All right. So the question was, the parts of her identity that she needs to keep quiet. Well, we have the 8 of Wands in reverse. Okay. So maybe next time around, she probably needs to be a little bit more slow to share that she's dating people, including her family, right? Keeping people pretty much out of her business. With this wheel card here, okay, this tells me that once she slows down, the positive, the love will give her the momentum that she needs to really kick this in gear, okay? I know that she's resisting it and she's fighting it, but what I'm also telling you with this 10 of Swords here, she is going to bounce back, okay? Kandi is not going to be down for long. She will bounce back, all right? So the question was, what aspects of her life should she keep private? Stop oversharing so soon, so quickly, okay? Now, I got to ask the question. Since this seemingly is picking up on her marriage so much, did the show have anything to do with this divorce? Did the show have anything to do with this divorce? Did the show have anything to do with this divorce? Okay. All right. So what the cards are saying, did the show have anything to do with with her divorce? There is a yes here, but I'm not reading it in that aspect. This card does, 6 of Wands does represent a yes, but these cards are in reverse, right? So to me, what this tells me is that there was a point, there was something that was done. Again, I know she said that there was something specific, but where I tend to err on the side of caution is it's usually more than just one pivotal thing before a woman decides, like, I'm gonna pull the plug, right? She might have already been leaning to it that way. I doubt that it was something so severe that was the end all be all. Like, that was just the exclamation point, okay? But when we talk about this 6 of Wands, this also talks about pride and ego, okay, and giving up. So possibly there could have been an indicator somewhere, like this Joker ain't trying to move forward with this 6 of Wands with the 3 of Wands, right? You're not planning to move forward, like you're giving up, like you're resting all on me. Both of these cards do indicate and point to arrogance, pride, and ego, okay? They're also point to a lack of clarity, right? A lack of guidance, a lack of foresight. So to have this 6 of Wands here in reverse, followed by this 3 of Swords with this 5 of Pentacles in reverse, baby, I'm trying to tell you, as I look in her eyes, like, listen, I'm trying to tell you, okay? There was some stalemates professionally somewhere in this dynamic. And I don't know if maybe he made the comment, well, I don't have to work because I could just live off of you or something like that. It could have been something jokingly. Whatever it was a no-go for her. Okay? It was a no-go for her. In addition to whatever that one instance was. That could have been the one instance. I don't know. But this is pointing to arrogance, ego, and pride. A lack of cooperation. And that gave her like the aha, the epiphany, the woo, light bulb moment, right? So did the show have anything to do with it? It may not have been this particular show, Real Housewives of Atlanta. It could have been another project that they were working on, okay? Whatever it was something that just did not sit well with her. So I didn't say, was it Real Housewives? I just said a show, or the show, right? I didn't specify. So it could be a Broadway show. It could have been anything. You understand what I'm saying? It's a show, any kind of show. All right. So, but it has something to do with that. Yes, it did. Okay. Now, what silent motivations fuel her business drive? I do sense she kind of like has some intuition. She knew something was not mathing. She just kept it to herself. She didn't want other people to see her fears, especially like her mother and the people around her. She didn't want them to see that. She tried to keep it to herself as long as she possibly could. All right. Kandi fears not being productive, not being financially stable. We talked about that in her opening, but that is coming up here with this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, followed by the King of Wands in reverse and the Seven of Wands in reverse. So what this tells me, y'all, I can't stop looking at her. Okay, like when I tell y'all Kandi is gorgeous, she is so gorgeous. I wish y'all could see this playbill photo of her. I said IMDb earlier, but I meant the playbill. When I tell y'all Kandi is beautiful, okay? But we asked the question about what silent motivations fuel her. It's the fear of being broke. It's the fear of not having stability and not having the wealth that she needs to move forward with this Knight of Pentacles here. This is talking about her being afraid that things are not going to work out. Okay, and I've heard her say this. I definitely have heard her say this. This was on the Tamsin show I just listened to this week. And that's what made me want to look at her energy, if I'm being honest with you. Because I was like, I wonder what Kandi going through. Like, what is she really feeling? Because she's putting on a major front. But she's afraid of being broke. She's afraid of not having the money to be able to support her lifestyle that she has worked so hard for. She doesn't want anybody saying, I told you you shouldn't have did this, or something to that effect, okay? Kandi is in a place where she wants to have more than enough to ensure that she is going to be able to sustain whatever it is that she does moving forward. And she does not want to have anything that is going to stifle or cripple her from feeling like she could sustain on her own. So this is likely where we're seeing the fear, the worry, and the avoidance with the regret. But we also said that she has roots of abundance. So no matter what, she is always going to be okay. It could be just a false narrative, false evidence appearing real, a fear, or a false narrative. When you come from, people have to understand, let me say this. People have to understand when you come from environments that are financially depressive, financially impoverished, financial trauma is a real thing, okay? People are just so used to being impoverished or having the lack of means that you just kind of like agree with it and you think that that's normalcy. But if it has really traumatized you enough, you don't ever want to go back to that. So you are willing to do whatever it is that you have to do. If you got to work 25/7 or 25/8, that's what you're going to do. Okay? Because you don't want to go back to that. And so that's what her silent driver is here. Now, when we look at the power, pressure, and control, where does she hold power in the industry relationships, in her industry relationships? Where is her power? Is it through music, televisionship, or entrepreneurship? Where does she hold her power? Where does Kandi hold her power? Where does King? Okay. Now that's too many doggone cards, but okay, let's look at see what we got. We have the Queen of Cups upright, the Four of Swords in reverse, followed by the Lovers in reverse. This is too many cards, Spirit. What are we talking about here? All right. That's a lot of dang on cards. Okay, so when we talk about the power in her relationships, as I stated before, Kandi comes across as a very enduring, loving, sincere person, okay? She is all of these things. But if we're also being honest, she's a little bit burnt out in how things have gone. She doesn't feel like she can rely and trust in on other people to really help her. She has her crew that she trusts, but that doesn't insulate them from making bad choices and poor decisions. Okay. So at some point throughout her career, they have made some bad investments. Some things have not gone well the way that they wanted it to be. But at the end of the day, things have balanced out over time. Okay. And things have made her feel very, very happy over time. So she understands very well that you will win some and you will lose some. Okay. Now, what's most interesting is the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Kandi does not make commitments easily. She does not be naive. She is not foolish. She is not none of the things. If she commits to it and invests in it, even if it's just her time, it is because she fundamentally believes in it. Okay. She will over invest in it. So it doesn't matter where she's focusing her energy on, whether it's music, television, or entrepreneurship. She is a heavy force to reckon with, period. People know that she's going to be genuine. They know that she's going to be trustworthy. And they know that she has the business acumen to help them get through whatever their pain points and cycles are of stuckness. Okay. Now, how does she balance leadership with collaboration? How does she balance leadership with collaboration? That is too many cards, Spirit. All right. How does she balance leadership with collaboration? She has a lot of things that she can look forward to. It's a lot of things still not finished for her. Like, she still has a lot of things that she is working progressively towards. As I said, that Three of Pentacles came out. Okay. She is collaboratively working towards a lot of completion in her life. A lot of areas that she felt like, things that she possibly had to put on hold. Y'all, I'm not trying to assert anything about why she's getting divorced from Todd. I do feel like it was business related. I do. The question was, how does she balance leadership with collaboration? And with this World card in reverse, okay, with the Three of Pentacles and the Moon card in reverse, there has been some significant delays, things that have been left incomplete that she has been working towards. And part of the reason why she had to walk away from these things was because she found out that there were hidden motives, ulterior motives, and hidden agendas that were associated with them, okay? And this was her fear. This was her fear, okay? I don't want to assert that this man was stealing money from her. I don't want to assert any of those negative things because we don't know what was the driver. But as I said to you, this was really heartbreaking for her, okay? When we talked about this piece, this was very heartbreaking for her. She had to leave something unfinished, okay? It had been delayed and unfinished. And she's like, well, how are we going to get this done? Working towards it. But this right here was what was overtaking her. The fact that she had to completely walk away from something that she really wanted. The truth came out. Some things were exposed to her and revealed. And the reason why I am saying I believe that it may have something to do with business is because what would have been so pivotal that it happened in that exact instance, in that exact moment of time that you like, oh, hell no, I'm going to sign the papers. I'm about to file for divorce like now. Okay. So that's my opinion on that. Now, was there balance and collaboration in her marriage? I was trying my best not to talk about this, y'all. Was there balance and collaboration in her marriage? Okay. Oh my gosh. Yes, there was balance and collaboration in her marriage. However, there was also some gossip, some rumors circulating. There was some information that came to her. And when she went to go dig up that information, that was solidifying. And that's where she had to make a choice. Okay. The easier choice or the difficult choice. She had to make a choice. Okay. With this Seven of Pentacles in reverse, y'all, I feel like she went and she dug up some things. This made her irritated. Okay. This was a complete setback for her. This was a complete waste of time for her. But it was necessary because she went to go look into something that she was hearing the rumors about. Okay. They was talking. Some people were talking. And she just probably, Lord help. I hope this is not true. But if what these cards are saying are right, she kept hearing the rumors about whatever it is that we're talking about. Okay? She kept hearing. She avoided it. She was afraid of the outcome. She finally went to go look into it. She was procrastinating. Okay? Found out what she needed to find out, which was the regret. Had to make the decision. Had to make the decision. I hope that's not true. That would be so ugly. All right. So how has fame adversely affected her personal life? How has fame adversely affected her personal life? How has fame adversely affected her personal life? Listen, in her personal life, see, I didn't even know that was coming out. In her personal life, Kandi has taken great pride in new opportunities, new adventures, new business deals. Like, this is what she does. Okay. Her mind is always growing and evolving on how to do something. This is why she's a phenomenon. This is why we need to give her her flowers. Okay. Because she don't set up a game to play unless she gonna get up to bat and knock it out the park, right? She does her due diligence, okay? So she takes insurmountable pride in being able to start new business endeavors and to be able to see things through. This is why I keep going back to, I believe that the reason for the divorce may be surrounded around business. Because what was the question that I asked? How does fame adversely affect her personal life? Whatever it was that she was hearing, okay, whatever information that she was hearing through the grapevine that was warranting her to draw her attention, it has something to do with the fame in public, okay? And that was devastating. That broke her heart. So this is how it affects her life adversely, because now you're messing with her business. You understand what I'm saying? Now you're messing with her brand. Now you're playing with her image and the perception that she cultivates and has to strategically manage. And those secrets came out. What you do in the dark will come to the light. It's even, baby, let me tell you, when you got secrets like that, sugar, that stuff be magnified, okay? Magnified. People be looking at you like, you understand what I'm saying? You can't just do that. So these things came through, okay? These things came through. These secrets were exposed and revealed. This was exceptionally stressful. It was embarrassing. It was humiliating. This is what was so overwhelming to her, but she said, absolutely not. I cannot, I will not, I shall not. Okay? That was why it crumbled the way that it did. Now, what emotional patterns? Oh, wait, wrong question. How does Kandi maintain control over her image and her enterprise? That's interesting because that was a great segue. How does Kandi maintain control over her enterprise and her image? Okay. We have the Six of Swords, the High Priestess in reverse, and the Judgment card in reverse. So let me tell you something. She maintains control by not being afraid of walking away from anything that does not serve her. Okay? She will walk away unless she is absolutely required to remain in compliance, which makes her feel like she's given up her power, right? But when we talk about the Six of Swords, followed by this High Priestess, the way that I view this is that she will rather walk away and allow her intuition to guide her on what the right steps are. Okay. And we did get the intuition card over here when we started talking about her. But with this intuition card, what I love about this card is even though it appears like you're in the dark, you're not. Okay. So there again may have been some inkling that there was some things going on, that there was just maybe some blocked intuition. Okay. And or some repressed feelings, because sometimes we fail to see the error of our loved ones because we don't want to believe things to be true, although they are. Okay. And that's where we have come now to this Judgment card here, where now there is a surrendering. The truth is coming out. The cause and the effects of what has happened is here. Okay. We're here now, sweetheart. So like, what are we about to do next? The reckoning is here. It's here. You didn't think I was going to walk away? You didn't think I was going to find out about your hidden agendas and ulterior motives? So now let's deal with it. Let's confront it head on. What the are we about to do? Okay? Like, what are we really about to do? And honest to God, I think that this was more than a notion for her. This was too much because she was just like, oh, for real? That's what we're about to do? Well, let's unravel them one by one.
The lies. There you go. This bitch. I'm telling you.
Okay? That's just exactly where we are now. Spirit, can you tell me with these cards, what did Todd do? What did Todd do? Again, everything here is alleged. We're just assuming for entertainment purposes. But what did Todd do? Oh, Lord. Y'all see how these cards just flying out? We got the Knight of Wands in reverse, followed by the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, followed by the Ten of Cups and the Three of Swords. One more card. It was definitely something related to business, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to assume anything because we don't know anything. But it was something with her business. That's where she's like, absolutely not. Okay. With this Knight of Wands in reverse, I feel strongly there may have been an affair, okay, of some sort that brought forth temporary success, but a lot of negativity, temporary happiness, but a lot of negativity. I hope to God that the person that this did not happen with does not work for Kandi. I hope this is grossly wrong. I do. Okay, I do. But what felt positive in that moment, okay, absolutely was not. It brought forth bad karma. Do you hear me? Bad, bad, bad karma. So even though it felt good, made you feel happy, made you got your little thing wet, okay, even though that's what we got. I do feel like this was what was heartbreaking, and that's what kind of like made her snap and pop off. Just say, you know what, I ain't even finna fight for this. Like, for what? You chose to violate me in that way. You know how I feel about my money. You know how I feel about my business. You know how I feel about my endeavors. You chose to embarrass me. You chose to humiliate me. I ain't got nothing else to say for you. This is why she's cutting him off. This is why she looks so cruel at him at this way. Sitting here going back, replaying things over her mind. But this is where she's like, you know what? I ain't finna fight for this. This is bullshit, and you know it's some bullshit. But you can have it though, player. You can have it though, pimp. That's what it says here. Now, I hope that ain't right, but that's what it's in to me. All right. Now, as we look to her emotional landscape, okay, What emotional needs are most alive in her life right now? What does Kandi need right now for healing, wholeness, and wellness? What exactly does Kandi need right now? What does Kandi need right now? I know she's upset. Well, the first thing is she needs to accept that this is what it is. She's having a hard time accepting this. But remember, we did talk about that in her chart, that she sometimes can be resistant to accepting things. Yeah, she needs to free herself from this. She's blaming herself. Oh my gosh, why? Yeah, it's going to take her a while. Listen, her confidence is kind of destroyed and broken right now. Oh, Kandi. No, baby. Yeah. Y'all see how these same cards keep coming out for her? Y'all, she's blaming herself. It's going to take her a long time to gain back her confidence. She probably is going to also not pursue love. Okay? Y'all, I got to ask this question. Someone told me to ask this question earlier. But because the Four of Swords has this red string, and y'all know how I am about red strings. Y'all know we talk about twin flames and how y'all romanticize twin flame connections, and y'all just don't be understanding that twin flames are not as all glittery and cheerleadery that y'all be hoping and wanting it to be. But if you look at this, the red string goes this way and then it's not attached to nothing. So I gotta ask the question, when it comes to Kandi and Todd, was this a true flame or not? When it comes to, well, the card that was standing out was silent treatment, and this indicates that it was toxic. Okay, so someone here may have been withholding communications to create peace, and it created pressure and confusion instead of and emotional isolation. Okay, it could be her not wanting to talk to him outside of the things that she needs to because she's hurt. Between Kandi and Todd, was it a true flame situation or not? Okay, so this is interesting, y'all. We got the shared healing card. Now, this is why I'm calling it interesting. Roots of abundance, shared healing here. Together, you're breaking generational patterns and becoming an example that you never had growing up. Well, we know that to be true because both of them talked about their childhoods and how things were rough for them. But what makes it interesting is that we have the tree with the roots presence. This represents growth, stability, and protection. So yes, there was at one point in time a shared commonality and identity there. There was a shared flame, but that flame has since turned toxic. Okay, she could be avoiding him at all costs. I'll take one more. Spiritual match. I told y'all. Bingo. That's what I was looking for with that red string. Your energy fields are in tune, calling each other home. Together, you amplify each other's light. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I wouldn't be surprised if they go through a legal divorce and still be kicking it. I am not lying. Y'all done seen it happen in real life and not. Will people be back creeping with their ex? I wouldn't be surprised if that comes out of this. Okay, I really wouldn't be surprised if that comes out of this. Look, I can hear Kandi right now. I can hear her right now.
The lies. There you go. This bitch. I'm telling you.
Now, what you said was some bullshit. I can hear her saying it right now. All right, so what emotional patterns? Okay, I skipped that. Where does she find nourishment and where does she still need healing? I'm gonna come back to the other question. Where does Kandi find nourishment and where does she still need healing? Y'all, why these cards keep coming out like this for her? We got the 10 of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and then the Wheel card in reverse. So where does she find her nourishment? She gets love and joy from the stability and love environment of her family and her children. Her family means everything to her, y'all. She also gets her fulfillment from being able to march to the beat of her own drum. She loves to be confident. She loves to be innovative. She loves to be adventurous. She loves to try things new. Okay. But what does not sit so well for her is when she does not have control. She is very fearful of not having control over anything. Her brand, her image, her likeness, the outcome, like that frightens the daylights out of her, which is why we have worry and fear here. Okay, these are real things. Now, where is she still healing, Spirit? Where is Kandi still healing? Okay. She's still struggling with the judgment of herself and others, blaming herself and others around her. She's feeling very upset and sad that her marriage did not work. Okay. She is also sad that it took her possibly a long time to get to this point and make that decision. It is also making her sad, feeling like she may have to pay him out of this. I know it's been all in the blogs. I don't know if this is true, but it's been all in the blogs recently about her prenup potentially not being honored or all of those things. Hopefully the prenup was ironclad as anticipated and as reported. And I really, really, really hope that she also is able to secure her finances. I also feel like where she's using to help get her mojo back is with this Knight of Pentacles. She could be developing a gambling habit or doing something of the sort. So again, something that is controlled, something that is giving her the joy, the optimism, and the freedom to be able to do what she wants and needs to do. Okay. With this card, this judgment card, I feel like she's learning how to surrender, understanding that this healing journey is beyond her. Okay. This is a critical part of her life. I didn't think to check where her Saturn is, but this is a critical part of her life. Excuse me. So the bottom line is she's going through a transformation. And again, I see her taking a step back. Once all the dust is settled with the divorce, I wouldn't be surprised if Kandi go on vacation. I keep seeing that, and I'm gonna say it. When I say go on vacation, she probably gonna be gone somewhere with her babies. The summertime is coming up. Kandi probably gonna be gone somewhere to some island somewhere with her babies for like a month at a time, right? If not longer. I can see her taking a step back to just work on herself and get back into sync with herself, because right now her energy feels torn and discombobulated. Okay, it does. Now, in what ways will this divorce help her thrive? In what ways will this divorce help her thrive? I wouldn't be surprised also if the divorce process gets stalled out as they go through this, like it's not moving as quickly as it possibly can. I don't want that for her, but I wouldn't be surprised. The way these cards are shuffling and not wanting to go in, I wouldn't be surprised. All right. In what ways will this divorce help her thrive? This is too many cards, Spirit. All right. So right now, she may be a little bit apathetic about things, not really feeling, even though she's throwing herself into work, she may be very apathetic right now about really getting out of this slump. Like she's going through going with the flow just to keep herself busy, to not focus on what is happening right now in front of her. However, with this Seven of Pentacles, she is going to start seeing the fruit of her labor that is coming through. Okay, I have to tell you that. Our girl is always working on something. So the fruit of her labor will be starting to come forward. However, the fact that she has extreme opposition with this 9 of Wands and this 5 of Swords, is going to create that internal conflict, okay, which is kind of driving that meh feeling, right? It's the wallowing in the disappointment. It's understanding the regret, how the grievance of a loved one, that somebody that you trust, you value, you admire, you adore, like coming to all of that is starting to come to a head, okay? This is where the regret is coming from. This man was patient. Whatever he was doing, I swear I hope this man was not stealing money from this lady. I know I said one thing, but go with me why I just said that. Look at this hand. She's not paying attention. The hand is collecting things in a cup. Being patient and waiting, understanding that there was nothing stopping him from being able to have access to her things. Regret, deceit, fraud, secrets being revealed, being exposed, being found out. So I'm saying all of the above. But as I was saying that, and I said, I hope that this man was not stealing money from her, because that was what came to my mind. Okay, that was what came to my mind. So it's helping her thrive, because now if that is the case, she doesn't have to worry about him taking from her anymore. All right, so when it comes to relationships and loyalty, those other dynamics that are so hypercritical, what patterns are showing up for her in her personal relationships? What patterns are showing up for her in her closest relationships? Those cards came out just like that in the previous. Now, what patterns? Sometimes she may make things more difficult than what they have to be. Instead of taking a minute to sit back and to just really reflect, sometimes she may take too long to sit back and to reflect, making things harder than what it has to be, instead of accepting that people are around you to bring balance to your life. There are people around you that are trying to bring harmony and to help offset, like recognizing that you don't have to do everything on your own. You don't have to be Superwoman all the time, right? That is a pattern that is showing up for her. She doesn't know how to slow down. She doesn't know how to let other people take the lead on some things. That is a pattern that is showing up for her. How does her loyalty support her, and how does it trap her? How does her loyalty support her, and how does it trap her? Really? Okay, so these three cards fell out first, which is the Chariot in reverse, followed by the Nine of Swords in reverse, and the Three of Cups in reverse. What typically is starting to happen is that a lot of times there seemingly is a lot of conflict that is going on around her, where people try to stifle her, people try to weaponize the negative things about her, or the negative hearings or the negative sayings around her, what's going on, and that gets on her last nerve. Okay, it's like, why are you always trying to count her out? So she does rely on the support and the health of her team, her friends. You know, we've all seen them, the Don Juans, the Tams, the what was the other girl name, start with a C? Cammy, I think that was her name. But you know, her little circle of people that are on her team, she leans on them heavily. Okay, Now, where her loyalty helps her is that this helps her to evaluate her choices and her options. Okay, she looks for opportunities to always advance, always to grow, always to shine. She's never going to leave any cup unturned. Okay, she also is empowered to know when is the right time to walk away and how to leave it all behind. But there are times where she can get like, I don't know. Okay, so I'm saying this to say that her loyalty does serve her very well. It is never really a trap for her. She trusts the people that she works with dearly. Where have business and personal lines blended, and what has that taught her? Where has business and personal lines merged, and what has that taught her? Well, for one, she's looking forward to a new start. This is going to be a very positive outcome for her. This is probably, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another album from Kandi out after this. Yeah. Another album with this King of Wands. This is going to inspire her to be bold, be courageous, be forthcoming. She knows she's not alone. Okay, she has an option and a voice for women of all kind. She's going to find ways to express and expand herself. Now, I know I didn't answer the question. The question was, where have the business and the personal lines blended, and what has this taught her? And what I am saying to answer that question is, in a roundabout way, but she's going to take this, she's going to weaponize this season of her life to help throw her in a new direction by honoring her struggles in her creative pursuits, whether that be in a new album, whether that be a play about her life, whether that be a musical, some type of something that is creative. She's going to take all of this negative and turn it into something positive, and she's going to move forward and make the best out of the things that have saddened and defeated her. Okay? She is going to overcome this sadness, this obstacle, this heartache, this humiliation. Does Kandi still love Todd? Does Kandi still love Todd? I mean, I think we don't need cards for that. I think that's going to be a yes, because I absolutely feel like she was shocked and blindsided by this. Does Kandi still love Todd? The answer is coming up as a no. With that Nine of Swords, this is stressing her the fuck out. She feels powerless. She feels naive about this. She feels like she didn't plan something right. Like she's taking the heat for this. Whatever this is, this little miniature dude. Yeah. She's not feeling good about this at all, y'all. This is not, yeah, she's not feeling good about this at all. This is also going to start to cost her a lot of money. And meanwhile, he's just going to be living his best life, waiting for his ships to come in. I feel like this was a strategic, planned attack on Todd's behalf. I feel strong. Was Mama Joyce right about Todd? Was Mama Joyce right about Todd? You know, old people be knowing, as Don Lemon said. And you know, your mamas be right sometimes. We don't want to be admitting it, but your mamas be right. Was Joyce right? Okay. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. Y'all see this? That man, she was right. He was after her money. He saw her as being a very stable person. You got 3 pentacles here. 3. That man saw her and saw a gold mine. Was he attracted to her? Absolutely he was. But I can bet you my by golly dollar. Is that what they used to say? This man was well aware that she had more than enough going on for herself, that she was well able to bring him good luck and fortune. She was sitting on a gold mine when she met him. He saw that as being an opportunity. He came in quick, fast, in a hurry, jumped in, love bombed her, possibly. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I would imagine when you talk about somebody being so laser focused on you all of a sudden quickly and things just kind of move relatively fast. Now, I'm not saying by any means that that's unplausible, because when you know, you know, and when people are meant to be together, the energy just be right. So I'm not saying that it wasn't, but he came in fast and he was hyper focused on her with excitement, didn't hold back, didn't hold back at all. But he saw a gold mine. So the question is, was Mama Joyce right? Yes, she was. It was all about her stability and her finances with these pentacles, 3 pentacles. It was after her money. He ain't gonna sit here. He can sit here and lie to us if he want to, but the cards say he was. Okay. Now, and that's what it's also saying here. There's going to be a quick dispersal of money towards him. He's waiting for his ships to come in. He gonna act like he all nonchalant. I seen him down at the Chinese food restaurant. I ain't gonna tell y'all which one because I don't want y'all coming to my spot. But he was down in the restaurant, acting like nothing was going on. I'm like, look at this Mickey Ficky right here. I would have thrown my egg roll slop at you, messing with my friend, okay? But nevertheless, that's what it is, all right? So she definitely feel like she sabotaged herself and not paying attention to the signs on that early on as well, all right? So as we shift to the trajectory and legacy of Miss Kandi Burruss, all right? What aspects of her brand are ripe for transformation? What aspects of her brand are ripe for transformation? As I look up and it's 3:33 on the clock. Okay. Oh, y'all. When I tell y'all, Spirit got a lot of messages for her. So what she feels like she overlooked and neglected is short-lived, okay? Trust me. It may feel like she don't have nowhere to go and nothing to do and she got a lot of opposition, but baby, Kandi still got choices and she gonna rise to the top. She gonna come out on top. She gonna be successful. She's gonna have the victory. She's gonna have the peace, okay? She's gonna have all the things. Where they try to suck her dry, Candice is gonna come out, Candi's gonna come out glistening, okay? There are no obstacles. There are no setbacks. There are no nothing that you can't do. Whatever it is that you feel like you have stopped her from doing, baby, you have not. You have not. You will not. You shall not. People are going to be jealous on the outside of how Kandi snaps back from this. All the girls are going to be jealous because she's going to come out unscathed on the other side of this. She's always transforming and rebranding herself. What is the next phase of Kandi's life? Again, I think she's going to get back to, I wouldn't be surprised if she take her show and her life and make a Broadway show and it be wildly successful. What's the next phase of her career? I tell y'all, she gonna have some choices to make. All right, she's gonna have to take a step back and like reevaluate herself, because right now it feels like she chose love and love was a head over heart decision for her. Okay, so this is where the divorce is coming through. What was the question that I asked her? What I asked? What's the next phase of her career story? She's going to take some time back, reflect, assess, allow things do and be what they need to do and be. But because she is who she is, she's not going to be able to walk away. So she's going to start looking at how she can go back to making money, what she can go back to doing, and she will do it. Okay. But this divorce is really unfortunate. Okay. What is the legacy that Kandi is building? What is the legacy that Kandi is building? She's coming through as a mother. Do you hear me? A mother with this Queen of Cups. She is coming through with all the love, the empathy, compassion. People are going to be loving on her and she's going to be receiving it immensely. Okay. She's not going to make any impulsive, irrational decisions. She's going to be very thoughtful around the things that she needs to do. Even though it's going to feel like immediately right away, she's not going to know how to exactly go about pursuing this because she is at a loss right now. Okay? But don't think for one moment that our girl is not up here thinking about it. Don't think for one moment that she's not already processing how with the knowledge and the wisdom that God has given her. Listen, she ain't going to take no losses. She's not going to take no losses. Once she can get back to focusing on her next step, she will. She absolutely will. So, I hate this for Kandi. I hate this for Kandi. Oh my gosh, I hate this for Kandi. This is heartbreaking for her. Okay, this is absolutely heartbreaking for her. But what I will say is, let me look at this. And then I'm going to get up out of here. Spirit. What is the potential final outcome for Kandi Burruss? Potential final outcome. Two of Swords. I told y'all she going to go back. Listen, I can't make it up. Y'all see this with this Two of Swords? Girl is going to go back to work. Okay, she going to figure out how she got to make it do what it do. She's studying, researching, planning, plotting. Once she get back that ability to focus, she will. She's going to be very selfish with how she's spending her money, where she's putting her things. I feel like this divorce is going to clean her a little bit. We got the Five of Wands. Listen, she's going to have a lot of opposition and things like that because a lot of her stuff is still going to be tied up in this divorce. Somehow, some way. I hate that for her, but it is. Yeah. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is going to be caught up in her divorce. And then we got the Three of Swords here, followed by the Justice card. Yeah, things are going to turn around. Things are going to turn around. But what I'm peculiarly interested in is Five of Wands in reverse, this Three of Swords and the Justice card. I got to ask the question, y'all. I got to ask the question. I will be remiss if I don't ask the question. Dear God, with clear and precise messages, did Todd steal from Kandi? Did Todd steal from Kandi? I got to ask that Justice card. That means something was done that was heartbreaking. Did Todd steal money from Kandi? Y'all, that's a yes. He was working on something, pretending to be working on something with this Page of Pentacles and this Ace of Cups in reverse. He lost his drive. Even though Todd has always had his own things, he started living off of her. He started not working as hard, as diligently, as much as he should. He became lazy. Started making bad choices and bad decisions when it came to business, and that was an immediate turnoff for her with this Ace of Cups. She was let down with that. She felt very disappointed. Like, how dare you think you about to live off of me? And what she say, and when they did the prenup, oh, so you think you're supposed to get some of my money? You think you're supposed to live off of my money? I could see, but you know how Kandi, she be like, so you think you supposed to get my money and live off of my money? You know that I'm looking at her smile. So you think you supposed to get my money? You think that I gotta do it right. So you think you supposed to get some of my money? So you think you supposed to live off of me and you ain't got to work? Oh, hell no. Nah. Now, you know what you said was some real bullshit. I could just hear her say, I'm not making fun of her situation because I'm hurt for her, but I am just understanding Kandi enough to know that she don't play that, all right? So there's going to be some legal matters coming out of this, not just the divorce, but some legal matters formally. Even if it's not publicly, there's going to be some legal matters that come out regarding her business endeavors with her husband, Todd, or some type of accusation with her husband, Todd, stealing money from her. Whew, y'all. When I tell y'all I hate this, I tried my darnest not to talk about that doggone divorce. I swear. You only see one question on this whole sheet. If I hold this sheet up, you only see one question. Me asking about the divorce. And that divorce was, in what ways is that divorce helping her thrive? Okay, so y'all see everything I read off this paper is everything I articulated, because these are my notes to ensure that I stay on task, because I can get off task real quick. So again, everything here is alleged until proven guilty or otherwise publicly stated. I am not verifying any of those assertions or claims or facts about anybody's life. I hate this for Kandi if this is true. But because I'm rooting for you, girl, I know that you're going to come out more than a conqueror, okay? So with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode of the celebrity card reading for Kandi Burruss. If you have anybody that you are interested in me doing a reading on, go ahead and subject your request into the comment section below. Let me know what you love to hate about this. Y'all know y'all quick to fact check me. Baby, let me also say this as well. I don't keep up with celebrity gossip. It got to be big mainstream stuff for me to know about it, okay? And the only reason how I know about this is because it came across my desk about the divorce. I mean, it's kind of hard to miss this. This was like breaking news when they announced their divorce. But nevertheless, yeah, fact check me, y'all. Let me know if I'm on to something or not, because y'all pretty good at that. But I appreciate y'all time. Make sure you like, rate, and subscribe. Make sure you keep your notifications on. I do specialize in couples love readings. That is what I love to do. That's my preferred type of reading for my YouTube page. So make sure that you like, rate, and subscribe so that you can see when I'm going live with another phenomenal reading next. In the meantime, love you. Okay, minute. Bye. Shout out to PJ. Bye. Look, bye. What is this? 3D. Bye, y'all.